Hey guys, today we are going to fix that squealing sound you just heard and also paint my brake calipers white. Watch till the end, something works out, something else sort of works out. So I don't actually know what's causing the squealing. Fitment of everything seems good, nothing's moving on its own, but I suspect, because I didn't do a few things when I changed the disc and pads, so I didn't put any lubricant between the pad and the caliper. So the parts that touch should have some lubricant, and also the guide rails where the pads slide in and out. That's inside the calipers. I didn't grease that up either, and I think I'll just give the whole caliper an overall clean and clean it up, lube it up, and paint it with some paint to protect it as well, because it looks, I mean, it's not rusted, but it doesn't look good. So let's just take everything apart again. For more details on how to remove your disc and pads, check out my video on the top right corner. So here are the caliper guide pins. You can see the silicone grease I put on last time. It's still there. It's still quite smooth. It's just the pins are a bit dirty. See that? It's a bit dirty, so I think I'll clean these up as well and then re-grease them. So these are the rails I didn't lubricate last time. See, they kind of catch a bit. But anyway, in normal operation it only moves a bit, but I'll lube that up anyways. Gotta lube this up. See the contact point? So the pads themselves seem to be in good shape. Seems like it's doing fine. The disc as well is doing okay. Nothing wrong with that. So let's take this whole caliper bracket off so we can clean it up. So this is what the caliper looks like after you remove it, and here's what we want it to look like after cleaning. And here's all the tools you need. We start with the wire brush. Just go through everything. All the brake dust will start coming off. Make sure you're wearing your mask and goggles. We're just going to use the wire brush for us to get as much off as we can. And then we've got different types of sandpaper, a scuff pad, and we've got brake cleaner and alcohol as well. So the idea is just to get everything off, the brake dust and any rust, so that we can paint. So that was the easy part, but you also have to clean the calipers which are still attached to your car, and you don't have much space to work with, so this is the tough one. Just try and get it as clean as possible. So just try to clean everything up and avoid the brake lines and hoses. Next, you want to tape up all the parts you don't want to get paint on. So that will be anywhere that has to mate up with different surfaces, or where the brake pads have to slide in and out. Make sure you do the same for the calipers themselves. So the hoses, all the rubber stuff that shouldn't get sprayed, the pistons, and make sure you tape up the areas around the caliper as well, so you don't end up spraying your knuckle or the wheel well. Okay, so now we can start spraying. I'm using this heat resistant spray from Ace Hardware. It's resistant up to 430 degrees Celsius, which should be plenty enough. So as usual, the first coat should be a light one, just so that there's some paint for the rest of the layers to adhere to. Since you have prepped the calipers and the mounting brackets, you can do them alternately while waiting for them to dry. I don't actually recommend this particular spray. You'll see why at the end of the video after I finish spraying everything. Here's the finished product. Looks nice and white. It never actually looks this white on the car, you'll see why. Don't do what I did basically. Good. Now we can move on to the more important stuff. Fixing the brake squeal. So I'm just rubbing off all the loose paint from the brake pads right now, sort of smoothing the edges of the pads. I should have done more. You'll see why again at the end of the video. So now I'm applying silicone paste to any parts that I see have been contacting the calipers or the pistons. So get it around the edges where the pad sits on the rails, and get it on the clips that go into the piston, and get it on the back of the pads that touch the calipers. As for the calipers themselves, make sure you lube up the guide rails. Get your silicone paste in the guide channels themselves, on the raised edge, and also on the sides, anywhere that touches the brake pads. Now we can put everything back together. For more detailed instructions on how to reassemble your brakes, please watch my previous video up here on the top right. You can see here that the brakes have turned from white to dirty white because of my dirty fingers. So make sure you put on some clean gloves before you reassemble your brakes. I couldn't get the dirt off, so here you can see I tried to spray over it and got some on the brake pads as well. This is after driving more than an hour with the brakes, so that should have been enough heat to cure the paint completely. But you can see that the paint is still coming off, and that's why I don't recommend this paint. It just can't be cleaned with brake clean. And here's the final product. I think it looks quite nice, even though the paint is kind of failed. The brake squeal is still there, but it's much softer. So #fail or #win. So that's it for this weekend. There's still a lot more to do for my car and also for my wife's car. So subscribe if you want to see more. And don't forget to like this video. Bye!